Well, damn, we should be closed at 4, Machias.
Senator Angus King weighed in after reports of the shooting started surfacing. His office said, quote,
continue covering the situation down there.
Yeah, Old Town, fuck. Fucking Zoe's got the day off. Fuck that bitch.
Attention to other news. Let's go to the weather. Looks like a fairly nice day today. Not bad at all.
Seems like it. Here's Devin Banks with the forecast.
Alrighty.
Is that Orno or Old Town? I think she's in Old Town still. Yeah, she's in Old Town. Joe's Market. Fuck that place, too. No, I like Joe's Market.
Quality and variety await you at Joe's as we get into things. Not too bad out here to start things off with some few cars are developing in a few spots. So,
all right, we got an unboxing here.
Tonight, let's zoom things out now and give you the bigger picture. Again, we're watching 2 chances of rain that's well off to the west for now. And for us today, it'll be just some clouds and I'll be about it. And again, the rain chances move in for us later on tonight. Otherwise, no clouds moving through today. Maybe a few peaks of sunshine from time to time, but the chances for rain moving later on tonight. And it starts up early Friday morning. So we watch it because that's going to develop over time, especially by that time frame. As for the winds, not a big deal for today. Roughly at around 5 miles per hour or less. Most of the winds stay rather relaxing until about Friday before they start to increase to around 5 to 10 miles per hour, and that'll be about it. So for today, we have lower 70s under a mostly cloudy sky. That southwest wind getting up to about 5 miles per hour. Later on tonight, though, lower 50s, mostly cloudy with rain showers on the way. That south wind getting up to about 5 miles per hour. And your hourly forecast for the rest of the morning and afternoon period, showing a mixture of clouds and sunshine. Temperatures in the 60s and 70s. Your full 5-day forecast is coming up.
All right, the time now is 7:11. Coming up next on Good Morning Maine, we'll continue our coverage of the mass shooting, along with the rest of the morning news.
Including the latest from Augusta, where the Ethics Commission considered a complaint against Senate President Troy Jackson. The very latest as Good Morning Maine continues. At your Toyota all-wheel drive headquarters, we see the world differently. You see a sunny road, but we see a treacherous road it could become in winter. So let's prepare you for the Toyota all-wheel drive savings event with thousands of Toyotas to choose from. You can get 3.99 financing on your Tacoma, which could save you up to $2,000, plus get no-cost maintenance and more. The event ends October 31st.
All right, we got unboxing.
All-wheel drive headquarters, Toyota. Let's go, Texas.
Tired of your internet service constantly letting
We got an unboxing. They literally, that's how much that was, $3. So I grabbed 2 more.
Endless hold times or automated responses. We're here to listen, support, and provide you with the exceptional service you deserve. On fast, reliable fiber internet, it's mind-blowing. Let us show you what true internet satisfaction feels like.
Roscoe Pride has been serving customers in the greater Dover Foxtrot region since 1946. Our goal is not just selling you a vehicle, but
there have been mass shootings in Maine before, just not to this extent.
Thank you, Susan, for finally fucking saying that.
Ryan is in Auburn for us at the
Christ, dude, I've been in proximity to like 3 of them in Maine.
Good morning, you all.
The last 3.
Still here at Auburn Middle School.
Oh, sorry, the last 2.
Drive. It's morning now, and many people went through the night just with this horrifying details of the mass shooting that
This bitch, she just looks annoyed to be there. Fuck her.
About that. So this scene is done down. We haven't seen very many families come here. This is the site that has been set aside.
This is a lockdown, you idiot. No one's fucking coming.
People will come if they're looking for a loved one who may have gotten caught up or may have been a victim of this mass shooting, or if they're looking for answers, or if they were seeking some sort of counseling because there were some behavior liaisons here that were helping people work through
Behavior
their
what?
emotions here. Earlier throughout the morning,
This bitch don't know what she's doing.
officers that were kind of
Obviously, a diversity hire.
every so often. Then when we got in this morning, there were also police officers stationed at the front before you enter into the parking lot, which is where I am right now, just to give you an understanding to set the tone of the scene. Also, just a few minutes ago, before you all took me live, there were 2 helicopters
Yeah, man.
were traveling, going this way, going to the
All right,
right.
we got unboxing.
As far as we know, the person of
Not the
interest
traditional
in this
Transformers,
is still at large.
but
So a lot of people
for
are
$3,
unsettled
I said screw it.
with the lack of information.
It's always nice to have a cuddly little friend.
Families who don't know whether their loved one was killed, who don't know whether their loved one was injured, or don't know whether their loved one may have suffered injuries from trying to escape rather than actually being shot. So people are really questioning a lot of things right now, not just their
Like,
safety, but
I'd be questioning, why is it taking 12 hours to find this dude?
life will look like, because as many of us know, if you've ever lost anyone who's close to you, your every day is not the same after
Thanks.
Like
Is that your fucking great advice, you dumb bitch? Thanks. Fucking Wall could have told me more than that.
So, and that's really why this reunification center was
The
set.
fucking the Muslim Central. That's what it's fucking. That's what they changed it to that name for.
Over the night, our team covered our night coverage. Alex Pascal.
I told you. I told you. I said it. I said it last Monday.
People in large groups, they were coming in, and there were some happy stories where people were reuniting with their loved ones. But then there were also some sad stories where people were not.
Apparently, I need to be in charge of shit.
A woman here who was.
God, that was shit. No. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, I can't even buy it.
Although she is not sure, what she says is that in so many words, doctors at the hospital did not give her good signs of whether or not her husband was still living, or whether or not he's no longer here with us.
And none of them, none of these hospitals, they are the biggest hospitals in the state, and they can't handle an influx of 50 fucking people at one of the biggest. Are you kidding me?
Stay at home orders in place. Law enforcement is still asking people to follow those orders. Like I said, although this reunification center has been open throughout the night and also throughout the morning,
huge difference between an order and a law.
We're not exactly sure if it's somewhere where people can still come to get the answers that they're looking for, or to find family members who may have been displaced, or who may have been injured, or who may have, been lost.
Got shot, murdered.
Still open or available for people to get counseling from those behavioral aides and counselors. So we're gonna
Megatron is on the loose.
from this scene, and it's back to you guys in the studio.
All right, Raya, thank you so much. And we want to also just mention again that if you're wondering if your school or business is open today, we do have a running list of closures on our website that you can check.
All right, so it's daylight, and God willing, that will help in the search, because certainly easier to find.
The dude ain't gonna be running during the day, man. The dude is hidden somewhere.
Lisbon Falls, where there's been a big police presence for a while now. Sam Olson is there. What's happened there now, Sam?
She's an old ski. Don't trust her.
Hi, Lee
Ian.
and Sharon. Just a couple minutes ago, about 10 cars just left Lisbon High School. There were a couple tactical gear vehicles with men armed with weapons. There were a couple vans also full of men with gear, and an ambulance also followed them with some police cars. And they made a left onto Lisbon Street. And police say in this area it is still an active search for the suspect. And
What all the drug dealers doing? They must be a little bit tense too.
a couple blocks away down on Frost Hill Avenue. Again, I'm right at Lisbon High School, and there have been Portland tactical vehicles that pulled in early this morning, and up until just 5 or so minutes ago, it was a pretty calm scene when it comes to police presence. There's been a few obviously just steadily driving through the area, but up until just then, the law enforcement is going obviously to go search for Robert Card.
Yeah, the police are out in force around. Of course they are. Any excuse for those motherfuckers to come out in force, they come out in force. Right, they're giving a lost dog, they would come out in force.
Catch our breath for a minute. Check in with Todd, get a look at the forecast, and we're going to talk more about this in a second. Todd?
Yeah, Lee, Sharon, good morning to both of you folks at home. It's a Thursday morning. Thankfully, it's pretty quiet across Maine.
275, good day to call out.
There are a couple couple of stray showers every once in a while south of Portland and York County. Radar's not picking anything up at this point, but earlier this morning, so there were, and there may be some damp spots because of it. This is the biggest story right now, and for the days.
It's gonna be 75 degrees.
We're in the 50s right now.
Damn,
And
it's a good
60
story.
degrees up on Moosehead Lake for late October. That's rather abnormal.
Yeah, that
What
is.
is north of us? We're in the warm sector for the next 3 days through Saturday evening. And then another front comes through, cools us off pretty dramatically for the end of the weekend, and offers up our next more significant precipitation chance. That'll be Sunday afternoon through Monday. We will see some breaks of sun today. The best chance for them will be this morning and then again this evening. And in between, I expect mainly cloudy skies, a lot like what we've had the last few days. Can't rule out again a few drops or sprinkles from time to time. End of the day, try to get you a nice sunset, but clouds will be working their way back in for the overnight hours too. Biggest story, these temps, way above where they should be. 70 Bangor, Augusta, Freiburg, Sanford, 71 in Kittery, Portsmouth. And those that don't hit 70 won't be too far from it. Upper 60s for the rest of the coastline, including Casco Bay and Portland. Up in the mountains, mid-60s, far north, 60 degrees. Tomorrow looks good, partly sunny, 70. Start of the weekend, great, lower 70s.
Sunday, fuck, Monday's gonna be cold, Tuesday's gonna be cold, fucking Wednesday's gonna be cold, fuck.
Showers will arrive in the afternoon.
Good day to take off. Good day to take off. Hey, Stoneheart, I told you, little Hamas. What happened? Little Hamas got lit up last night.
Raindrops likely in northern Maine, the first snow of the season in the state. Drying out for
When?
Halloween, trick or treat.
Who just fucking said that?
Afternoon high, upper 40s, so it's a cold Halloween, and it stays pretty chilly for the middle of next week. That's the latest on the forecast. Sharon Lee, back to you.
All right, Todd, thanks so much. And we want to thank you for sticking with us.
These motherfuckers have been on this fucking show since I was in the fucking 7th grade in 1993. Same motherfucker, minus one dude that retired.
Is the hard facts, of which are few and far between at this time, and then the other piece of this, of course, is the mental health impact that it's going to have on all of us in some way.
The mental health impact was why this happened. They don't need to take away guns. They need to increase fucking funding to mental health fucking services. That's what needs to be done, not take people's fucking weapons. When this dude's in a fucking, and I'm gonna guess Riverview right off the jump. I'm guessing Riverview is where he was. This past summer, he's in Riverview saying, I'm going to commit a mass fucking shooting. I'm hearing voices. Then they fucking release him after probably a 72-hour observation.
Texts and emails and calls around are people offering help, which is what Mainers do. How can, I've got some autism, crisis intervention, stress management trained folks. How can they help? How can I be of assistance? So that's a big piece of it. And people are underscoring what resources are available. Underscoring the availability of the main crisis line, the 988 or the 1-888-568-1112 line. That's they're staffing up to have more people be able to handle calls, which is a really good resource. NAMI's helpline, as we move into the morning, you're gonna have extra people responding to calls.
Yeah, they should have had extra people responding to that fucking dude when he fucking asked for help and said he was going to commit one of these things. That's where the fucking mass help should have fucking started.
So important to know those resources are there, and it's a sort of
Apparently they're not there. You guys just said that.
Don't try to push through. Take that first day and give yourself a little triage, and you're going to get over it much faster. Translate that to mental health, because I'm sure there were a lot of people who are,
Yeah. So I took the day off.
The anxiety is building. Oh, I don't need help yet. I don't need help yet. And maybe don't wait for it to get to a crescendo. Maybe nip it in the bud before it gets there.
Sharon, I think you hit it right on the button. The whole idea is right now we are flooded. We are flooded with this, and particularly when we don't have all the facts and we don't know
Stay
what
level-headed.
the risk is, we're going to be flooded more. So think about how you manage yourself, how you can release some of that stress, who you can connect with and talk to on an informal basis. Who do you trust? Who's in your circle?
Proactive versus reactive.
Yeah.
So in your profession, all of us count on you. to help us.
The proactive approach, Lee, would have been them fucking taking this dude seriously and hooked him up with services to recognize this dude has a severe mental illness.
My wife is going to be really happy that you've asked me that question.
Is she the one?
Well, she is such a strong connection to that.
And I worked in
She doesn't hesitate
the where did I leave here to come to the school? I left fucking Dorothea Dix. I left the fucking hospitals because I said shit was gonna happen.
Yeah, so we all need people in our lives, and I've been bouncing off with a lot of
Called it.
the past
I can
few
call it.
years in terms of who I'm looking for ideas and support and resources
Oh, this dipshit.
and that connection.
One thing that comes to mind is as you know, Lee, you've mentioned this many times throughout the night and the morning, that Maine being such a small town and everybody knowing everybody. I mean, I rarely meet a new person anymore who doesn't know someone I know, right? And we're all going to be connected to this, or most of us are in some way, shape, or form. And I think we feel something of this
Peace through tyranny. That's the message they're trying to push today. Peace through tyranny.
Any advice around that?
Yes, I think the big thing is
This fucking cocksucker.
Details of what happened, deal with the feelings and how they're getting support. What's going to help ground them. This morning I got a text or an email from a woman who's a school counselor up in Danforth, right up on the Aroostook Washington border. And she says, "Thank you for what you're doing." This
is Danforth is right on that he did.
How do I do that?
That is very accurate, actually. His painting of where they are geographically.
Somebody reaches out and says, "How
Danforth is right on that line.
And neighbors especially
The
don't
Aroostook in
know
Washington.
even how to ask for help. But if somebody brings you a lasagna, if you just bring someone
Throw it at him. Fucking, I don't want your fucking lasagna. I hate lasagna.
But it ends up in their belly or the trash. It means something that someone did that. So maybe those little acts of kindness, it can't be misconstrued. It can't be, right?
Well, it can't be misconstrued, and what you can do is when you accept that gift, you're also gifting that person that's offered it to you, because it benefits both of you. As we give of our time, our energy, our lasagnas, and that end up in the garbage, that's also validating for the individual who's giving. So accept, and I had to learn that to be able to graciously accept when that is offered.
That, yeah, I do agree with that, dude. I do. I'm kind of the same way.
It doesn't matter.
Now we're talking. Now these dudes got me pulled in about fucking food debates. Right?
Yeah, I think it's also important, I'm hoping you'll agree, to stay with it. This is not even really day one of what we're getting into. So what we deal with today that we know, we still don't know what we don't know. So this is going to be an ongoing thing.
Thank you. Thank you. We all didn't know that.
Throw a Band-Aid on it and call it good. This is going to be something that's going to require attention.
Maybe the people that the suicide crisis helpline, suicide crisis hotline number should help the dude when he was at the fucking hospital saying, "Hey man, I'm hearing voices and I think I'm gonna go back and shoot a bunch of people out." I think that's the time when we probably should have that.
You need some help, or you know somebody who might need some help.
And again, by the way, I know we just said this, but want to stress enough that even though this is being called Suicide and Crisis Helpline, these are numbers people can call for any type of help, correct?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And this is the mental health crisis line, so it's mostly in that area, but they'll redirect you as necessary. And they recognize on a day like today, everybody is just way up.
Right.
And so they're going to need some support. They're going to need some reassurance. Recognize other resources are available for you in your community, because this is in everybody's living room today. Everybody.
All right, Greg, thank you very much.
You're welcome. Happy to be here.
Appreciate you being here for sure, no doubt about that. I'm gonna go back outside. We'll go to Lewiston. Hannah Yeshivi is not far from where all this started, just before 7 o'clock last night. Hannah?
Hey, good morning, Leanne, Sharon. Good morning, everyone. The sun is up, and this is a very fluid situation. Right behind me, this police officer that you see there has been here ever since I got here about 3 to 4 hours ago, and right past the officer up here on Mollison Way, about a 4-minute walk, is where the bowling alley is located. 9 minutes away from where I am is the second location of where this 40-year-old person of interest, Robert Card, stopped by. This is the Schmengi's Bar and Restaurant. So those are the two locations where Robert Card stopped, and yesterday killing more than 15 to 20 people, according to NBC News, our affiliate. And two big things that I want to point out and make clear. There are still, besides Robert Card still being on the loose, there are still shelter-in-place orders here in Lewiston and in Lisbon, and that's because Robert Card, the suspect, and to better phrase it, the person of interest is still at large. He's missing. Hundreds of Maine police officers are out on the look for him. And just to give you another idea of how much this has extended past Lewiston, I just read a Facebook post from Holden. Holden is an hour and 40 away from here, and they just posted that they have extra police officers today monitoring schools and just the area of Holden in general. As I said, this is just an hour and 40 away, and this is because Robert Card, 40-year-old.
Yeah, look, see, we should have a day off. The fucking
that extra layer of protection. This is
yeah,
very
fuck yeah. I don't know why our school was that. School's stupid, apparently.
I've seen 2 helicopters just now, and I will continue to bring you the very latest information that we have as soon as I get it. Lee and Sharon, back to you guys.
All right, Hannah, thank you. So the hope here is as daylight comes, it's 7:30 in the morning, maybe people went home, certainly not law enforcement that's out there searching, but maybe there's now a reset now where there's a regroup and we have a better idea of a plan and more details of what's happening besides the press conference, which is scheduled for 3 hours from now.
Right.
So that we're certainly looking forward to. That's, when we first started talking about that news conference, it was 9 hours away. Now it's only 3 hours away.
We're inching.
Yeah, we don't know
I
shit.
understand your hunger for new updates, new information as the details continue to be fairly sparse. What we knew overnight is what we know now. Most of you have heard that by now. We are getting, source information trickling into the newsroom, which takes us time to check it out. We're also waiting to hear the latest from law enforcement. It is interesting, as Hannah mentioned, that she's seeing helicopters. She is seeing, officers and cruisers and on all levels, local, state, and federal throughout the area.
Okay. We just left Hannah, who was in Lewiston. We have Sam Olson, who is in Lisbon Falls, and she joins us now live. Hey, Sam.
Hi, Lee and Sharon. Maine State Police say there are more than 100 investigators looking for the suspect, Robert Card, who lives in Bowdoin. He's 40 years old. Police say he's considered to be armed and dangerous, and members of the public are advised to not approach him or make contact. So right now I'm at Lisbon High School, and last night police found Card's car just a few blocks away on Frost Hill Avenue. And this morning, actually just probably about 10-15 minutes ago, about 10 tactical vehicle gears and vans full of men in gear with rifles actually just left the high school. So it seems as if they are trying to continue the search this morning for Card. And overall this morning, the police presence hasn't been too heavy until that burst through the parking lot when they all just took off. We will continue to bring the latest here from Lisbon Falls. Sharon, Lee.
All right, Sam, thank you very much for that. So, yeah, we're all on a quest for information, and it's just not plentiful at this point.
It's not. And again, encouraging you to be careful what you see on social media. You can go to our website. We have the basics about what we
Well,
know.
fuck, you guys don't know. You guys can't even tell me what the fucking body count, like the actual death toll is. You just thought of fucking subjective fucking, like it's
Maybe you have relatives
range.
out of state who are wanting the very latest. Let them know that they can go to our website. They can click on our streaming coverage and get what we're bringing to you to them to get the very latest, to know what's going on with the situation. We also have a list of business and school closures that are happening today. They are plentiful throughout the state, so our website is somewhere where you can go to get that information as well.
And at 7:34 at this point, you should probably have heard from your school if you're not going to have school at this point. But if you're not sure, jump onto the website and you'll get.
And again, it also includes businesses, so businesses,
Sure.
starting at various times.
Yeah, that is true. All right, Sean Stackhouse is also on the field for us this morning, and Sean joins us live. Hey, Sean.
Well, Lee, just a few moments ago, you said quest for information. This has really been what's happening here at the Auburn Middle School on Falcon Road here. This has been a reunification center and a point where folks in the community have been coming throughout the evening looking to try to connect with family members that they have lost touch with after the shooting began around 7 p.m. Last night. Now, right now, we are not seeing much activity at the reunification center. It was a different story just several hours ago. But as the sun has come up, we've seen police cruisers leave the area, and we actually are not able to see any police that are in this area right now. But really, we're starting to see some of the humanity and learn about some of the lives that were lost as a part of this, or at least what folks believe they have lost. Now, one Auburn City Councilor, Leroy Walker, he's with Ward 5. He says that his son, Joey, is one of the managers of the bar pub that was one of the locations as a part of this mass shooting event. And he says he has not heard from his son in that time, and says that's very uncommon. They tend to text every day and stay in touch. And right now he's fearing for the worst. That our colleague Jack Molden spoke with him outside of Central Maine Medical Center early this morning. And just a few hours ago, my colleague Brian Wooten spoke with a woman, Christy Strout, who believes that her husband, Arthur Strout, a 42-year-old, was also one of the victims in this incident. Now, those have not been confirmed by police, but what loved ones are telling us that they have not been able to make contact with those individuals. They were in situations nearby, and as time moves forward, we're beginning to see the true impact that this had on our friends, our neighbors, our loved ones. And we're going to be continuing to keep you updated on the impact that this has had throughout the Lewiston Auburn area and throughout the small town of the state of Maine, and the impact that this is going to have going forward. But for now, I'll send it back to you in studio.
All right, Sean, thank you. And speaking of impact, this just in from Hannaford Supermarkets, and I'm going to read this to you as it's read here. We join all Mainers in being deeply saddened and horrified by the tragic events in Lewiston. All Hannaford stores in the state of Maine will be closed until at least 10 a.m. on Thursday the 26th.
Oh, good. I still get a salad bar. Thank God.
Stores are following all shelter-in-place advisories and guidance from law enforcement. This is an evolving situation.
Thank God. I still can get a salad bar later. All right. Good.
Our thoughts and prayers are with all of our associates and community members as we collectively cope with this heartbreaking tragedy. So all Hannafords in the state of Maine, no matter where you are, closed at least until 10 o'clock this morning.
At least, and we'll bring you updates as we, hear from Hannaford on whether that's going to happen at 10 or not. A lot of people staying home with that shelter-in-place order. Also, a lot of schools closed, so people need to stay home with their kids. And even though the shelter-in-place order only covers Androscoggin County, because we don't know exactly where this shooter might be, and people are on.
Dude's been at large for 7 hours.
Expands throughout the state.
All right, let's take a break from all of this.
Dude's been loose for 7 hours, large for 7 hours. What do you fucking expect?
Yeah, glad you're here, Todd, by the way.
Well, the forecast is a nice one. The temperatures are very comfortable. They're going to be on the warm side these next few days, with Mother Nature kind of cooperating with us. There are some clouds out there. Occasionally, we've seen some very brief sprinkles or light showers south of Portland, but the latest radars show that isn't the case. There's nothing coming out of those clouds right now. This is the biggest story today. We're beginning with these warm numbers above 50 in many spots. It's even 60 up on Moosehead Lake right now.
Yeah, I mean, it's nice though.
The front is
Good day, today off.
We're going to keep this warm thing going through Saturday night. Then the next one sweeps through, chills us off rather dramatically on Sunday, and offers up our next more significant precipitation chance. I do see the opportunity for sunshine today, both this morning and again this evening, and then in between, we're looking at quite a bit of cloud cover. These are the midday hours here. It's mostly cloudy. Later in the afternoon, trying to clear out a little bit for a solid sunset. But again, the biggest story, these temps right up around 70. Bangor hits it, Augusta does, Freiburg, Sanford, Portsmouth 71. And if you don't hit it, you're going to come really, really close. 68 for Bar Harbor, 69 in Portland and Wiscasset. Up north, 60 for Caribou, Rangeley, 65. We all get a a chance again tomorrow, 70 over the weekend. Saturday, very warm, lower 70s. And then we're cooling off on Sunday, back into the 50s with some rain moving in the afternoon. That rain will become steady Sunday night and be steady Monday morning, at which point the temps are going to be a lot lower. So these will be cold raindrops on Monday, so cold that they probably freeze up. Our first snow of the season likely in far northern Maine, sometime Sunday night into Monday. There may be some minor accumulation that we'll be tracking. Tuesday, drying out, but turning even colder with temps in the 40s for trick-or-treating. And then on Wednesday, still in the 40s, watching the potential for the next storm system. So that's the latest.
We got a freebie. We got a freebie.
Send it back to you.
All right, Todd, thank you so much.
Oh no! Look up some Transformers. Damn.
Perspective on all of this. Our Chris Costa did speak with Michael Rock, a professor of sociology from Bates College.
This idiot.
Specializing
This
in gun
idiot.
violence. We're gonna take a listen to that.
And if you don't mind expanding on maybe helping the general public
Yep,
understand.
this fucking dipshit.
The focus of your most recent publication, right, was about the comparison between thwarted mass public shooting, public mass shootings, and actual completed attacks. Can you help kind of, give the abstract to the viewers?
Abstract. It's abstract.
Yeah, so
It's not black and white thinking. Oh my god, they just admitted that that's abstract.
Colleagues at Northeastern University
That's
and
hilarious.
the Department of Corrections, and the Center project that
But you don't.
learn more about mass shootings, mass public shootings.
That's hilarious.
Which this case in Lewiston was a mass public shooting, which is far less frequent.
So you have to separate the shooting. You have to. Oh my god. Yeah, abstract.
But
It's not black and white
analyze
thinking.
that and try to understand some of the correlates and trends of these mass public
Exactly.
shootings. We also wanted to learn a little bit more about what makes particular events more newsworthy.
Oh, you want to know why? I'll tell you, because it's the color and what the news narrative wants it to be. That's why.
Looking at averted mass shootings. So mass shootings.
Christ, there's a mass shooting that happens in Chicago every fucking day.
To perhaps enact.
Why don't they go fucking fix that?
Did not happen, and that thwarting could be through.
Christ, there's a mass shooting. There's a mass shooting in Chicago every fucking day.
Plans coming to the attention of some sort of authority, and what we found.
A mass shooting doesn't have to even have anyone killed. No one has to die in a shooting that's considered a mass shooting.
Us having more information when younger people make threats. I think that young people.
We've already had like.
Even if they're not necessarily serious threats, and so trying to figure out what's the serious and versus a non-serious threat was somewhat difficult. But
no, not really. If your kid flipped out and said, "I'm gonna up the whole house," you have to think, what are the means and what is the possibility of that? That's how you determine that. If it's some kid just saying, I'm gonna come back and burn this place down, you know it's not gonna happen.
A plan that they might have, or even trying to actively recruit people to be engaged in their plan.
This dude that did the shooting, man, he ain't alone. He wouldn't be that.
In general, we know that oftentimes these
we wouldn't be going on this long.
Make their intentions known somehow. They have some sort of behavior that could be disturbing. That is a warning that lets us know that something is happening, and we need to
so suspicious. And it's basically, dude just said anything suspicious. But suspicion isn't a crime. You can't be suspected of anything. Being suspected isn't a crime.
Main Information Analysis Center may or may not have known about this person. I don't know how. How would you recommend corroborating that information for the public?
Yeah, I mean, I think that I have seen the reports that you were mentioning as well, detailing the background of the suspect. And, without that being confirmed, it's difficult to speculate too much on it. But I would say that until the suspect is apprehended, we probably will still be speculating. And then once hopefully that happens soon, then we'll certainly know more. But what has been shared in the media is certainly not uncommon in terms of people who have engaged in these attacks before. I'm hesitant to say that there's a profile. I don't believe that there is a profile of a mass shooter, but there's certainly some characteristics that we see that are that weave their way through a lot of these cases. And so the information that has been shared, if it turns out to be true, is not necessarily surprising, but is again more evidence that these types of events are preventable, and we need to take them, I think, a little bit more seriously. And it's a challenging situation. You know, you don't want to strip somebody of their rights when they have not actually engaged in an attack, but
we want it. We want it. Oh goodness, the back is there.
We need to do our best to focus on people who have made concerning comments or behaviors are concerning.
No, we don't want to take anyone's rights away, but we want it. We want it. No, we don't want it. But yeah, let's do that.
Place at the height of all this happening last night. His name is Joe Grenier. He's from Lisbon Falls.
You know, a lot of police cars. I think I saw a SWAT car. Just a lot of cars in and out of the school. There's a police officer currently parked right across the street. That's just sitting there, and it's been sitting there for probably the past half an hour. Which makes me feel a little bit more comfortable. I mean, but a lot of helicopters, like I'm hearing helicopters all over the place with spotlights. It's pretty crazy.
How is that making you feel right now, this environment?
Well, it's a little unnerving. Luckily, my son is asleep right now. He can't hear anything. Me and my wife are up and just kind of pacing around, and you know, there's not much we can do at this point.
How old is your son?
He'll be 7 in a couple weeks.
Is this something that you feel like you're going to have to talk to him about tomorrow as a father?
I hope not. Like, I really hope he doesn't wake up. And
I hope he doesn't wake up. I hope he doesn't wake up.
Certain things like this, and I just hate to bring it up right here and now, but maybe later on, once he fully understands the magnitude of the situation.
You're gonna have to. The younger you tell him, and that's a great conversation. And you'd be like, "Yo, man, this is why I got these fishing rods, so that it can protect us and your mom and your brother and your sister. So don't screw around with them." That's what I would say. Screw around with them.
And when we approached him, I'm not sure which clip we're going to have from Leroy. The question that Jack Moore was asking was, as a city councilor, your thoughts on what's happening, and it evolved into Mr. Walker having a son involved in
His son got lit up.
Manager at Schmeggy's Bar and Grill, so someone and who was working that night. So Mr. Walker is dealing with this both from a city leader perspective and a father perspective. And here's part of what
How do you separate it?
If you had my gut right now, I feel like I'm squashed with a vice.
Guaranteed it's a vote of asylum seekers. Guaranteed.
And I don't know telling you the truth.
Well, thank you. We appreciate you telling us the truth. You know, I didn't think you were gonna get up here and start fucking lying either. I hate when people say that.
That my son is dead, and I know.
Well, I'm gonna be honest with you. Well, I fucking hope you would. I kind of was assuming you would be. Now I'm kind of hesitant.
He would have called us because he manages Schmeggy's, so I know he was there.
Guys, we know that is hard to hear and hard to digest. We do have a professional here with us to talk more about the mental health aspect of all of this, and we're going to be talking to him throughout the morning and throughout the day.
Again, if we want to go back to this fucking tree,
on the ground with law enforcement.
probably should have been on top of the dude that said he was going to shoot the place up. He's hearing voices and not feeling well, and he needs help. Oh no, let's just send him back out on the streets. Smart move.
Hey, good morning, Lee and Sharon. I'm as close as I could get to the Spear Time Recreation Bowling Alley, and I just saw 2 Maine State Police cruisers pulling out just about 20 minutes ago. 2 helicopters. Some of those stores open, some businesses are closed for the day for the same reason, and as I mentioned, Holden, an hour and 20 away.
Holden
has extra police officers, just to give you an example of
Yeah,
the extent of this.
Brewers doing it. Bangor is doing the same thing.
Trying to find this suspect. He is still missing.
Yeah, exactly. Holden's canceled. And it's like 10 minutes down the road from me.
That I have for you guys.
I was in Holden last
All right,
night.
thank you, Hannah, and yeah, it's a slow crawl to 10:30 when we expect next to hear from law enforcement. They, of course, their main priority is finding the shooter, bringing him into custody.
Dude's not on the run.
And then continuing
When you're on the run, that's when you get caught.
And build this investigation. But in the meantime, we are hungry for more details.
We just got information from the governor's office. Governor Mills will be present at that 10:30 news conference.
Well, that's whatever. She's only a half an hour away, 20 minutes.
So that's coming up in 2.5 hours away from that. So closings are continuing to roll into. We talked a lot about this. Is to go to the website and get the updates. And we're going to get them up there as quickly as we can. But closings are coming in from all facets. They're not just schools. They're not just elementary schools. University of Maine, Orono, canceled for the day. USM, canceled. Hannaford supermarkets, not opening until at least 10 a.m. To start with. So this is a multi-pronged thing that is taking over really everything. And I mean, it's not for us to guess why, but it has to be a huge part of this is they're still looking for someone, and we don't know where this person is.
Yeah, we're an hour. Exactly. That woman summed it up. We're an hour and a half away. And the dude's been on the loose for what, 7 hours now? 8 hours now?
Investigation is happening and centered in the Lisbon area, Lewiston area, Androscoggin County. Emotionally, this has a statewide impact, and in terms of safety of children, especially a lot of.
Hey, I was living there. It hasn't even been a year since I moved out of there.
Exercising an abundance of caution in closing today.
Well, I moved out. I moved back here in beginning of March, end of February. So it's like March, April, May, June, July, August, September. Yeah, 7 months.
No, people want to be with their families today. People need to be with their children today. So I just kind of want to give a hats off to the businesses who decided to close for that reason.
And are allowing their employees, in fact, them to stay home and to be with their loved ones who need them a little bit extra today, like we all really do. Sam Olson is in Lisbon and has an update for us. Hey, Sam.
Hi, Lee and Sharon. Right now I'm at Lisbon High School, and police say the area is still active as they continue to search for Robert Card.
Told you, little Hamas was gonna happen. Told you, that Monday I went down there. What was it?
At about 7:15.
Say Thursday, almost 2 weeks ago.
Several tactical vehicles and some vans filled with men with gear and rifles actually piled out of this parking lot at the high school and made.
They piled, literally.
Lisbon Police Department is recommending all Lisbon residents stay put where they are and stay sheltering in place. And they want to put an emphasis on the people who live between Mill Street and Lisbon Center along the Route 196 corridor east to Main Street in Lisbon Falls. So if you are in that area specifically,
I know right where that is.
You to stay put as well. And all Lisbon schools
So,
and town offices will be closed today. Last night, police found the suspect's car empty on Frost Hill Road, which is probably about half mile from where I'm standing right now. And I've been here for about 5 hours this morning, and it was.
So if he got to Lisbon,
presence throughout the day.
a lot of rivers, a lot of streams, a lot of ways you can lose some sense, a lot of ways you can.
And as I said, a couple minutes ago, I heard a chopper flying over this area, but
A chopper!
I didn't see one, and now it must have taken out of this area because I can't hear anymore. But they are definitely out there searching for Card. Lee, Sharon?
All right, Sam, thank you so much. Thanks for the continuing coverage overnight as well. This is a story, as we've mentioned, or a case that we've mentioned, that has brought in law enforcement all the way up to the.
Good luck catching him, man. If he's in the woods, and man, he could be gone. He could be a while.
There is national media on site. In fact, we're going to try to take a look at a live shot from this is a helicopter from NBC.
Yeah, look at those treated areas though. At night, yeah, you could probably. Leaves are falling, dude. Oh man. Guys, you could lay right in the fucking woods with leaves covering over you. They wouldn't even be able to fucking tell.
For the rest of the nation on what is happening.
You could sit there for days. They'd have to walk over you. There'd be no fucking way.
Yeah, we're just, we're.
They got the Appalachian Trail.
And as we're trying to learn more, as you want to learn more, we want to learn more to give to you. So.
And if you're waking up feeling a mixture of a number of emotions, right? From sadness and frustration to this really surreal feeling. I mean, I have to tell you that we're right there with you. It's going to take some time for this to sink in. It's been hours now that we have been talking about this, that we've been sharing the information that we have for you.
What?
It
14
still,
hours?
in some ways, doesn't feel real.
And I wonder to myself when I'll realize that. I feel like in work mode, it's fairly easy to compartmentalize and and do our jobs and try to get the information. But as I hear the stories that are coming in from the people who have been directly affected by this, and I see the messages, and I just can't believe this is my state. Right? I mean, this is where we're from. So this is just hard, and it's just, again, not something I ever thought that we would go through, and we are going through this, and obviously we'll get through this. But right now we're in the
So they still don't know how many people.
That we wouldn't have to be doing this. It's been a reality across the country for years now, and now it hits close to home and is being acknowledged across the country that this is what we're dealing with here today.
All right, we are about 2.5 hours away from our scheduled news conference. The governor is planning to be there as well with Maine State Police to give whatever updates they may have. We have had no updates since.
And if they caught him, they'd want to be breaking right. The police have their egos are so fucking huge. They would have to fucking tell them when they caught him.
News conference 2.5 hours from now at 10:30.
In the meantime, hey Greg, you want to join us back on the set? Again, we're dealing with the of course.
Well, it's so crazy. Like we had the 9/11 bombers fly come out of our fucking state. Why are we so surprised about this shit?
Into the morning hours.
People fucking don't have memories.
Sleep, and I'm sure some food and some self-care to join us and to share his expertise in the area of mental health with us. We've talked throughout the morning about how to talk to your kids about this, how to take care of yourself throughout this.
How I'm talking to my kids about your government has failed you.
And you brought up a really good point.
They embezzle money that should be in the mental health fucking field. They steal it. The money doesn't get to the people that need it. The recipients don't receive it.
This morning than anybody. Also, it's a fact that some people are just more sensitive than others and are probably going to be affected more deeply. And then you brought up a really good point that the people of Lisbon recently went through something fairly traumatic, and now this
295, yeah.
A little bit about that.
So
back like
2 weeks
June.
ago, there was on the street in Lisbon a homicide and suicide that was witnessed by some people. It was in that small community. They were not people of that community. And so that was already destabilizing. It's traumatizing for some people. And so keep in mind, if you were involved in that and felt the world felt less safe 2 weeks ago, and then this is added on, that's going to be more. So who do you connect with? Who do you reach out to? Who do you talk with?
Let's talk about the resources available again, because I think that's really important.
Yeah, and so you can always contact the main crisis line, the 988 system. During the day, you can always reach out to the NAMI helpline. We're going to have extra staff responding to those calls and texts today. And reach out to your community, to your support system. If you're a parent, talk to other parents, to other family members, to the people you trust in your life. If you're talking with your kids, and today we're trying to help kids deal with the trauma. And your job as a parent, those steps of what we call psychological first aid, are listen to them, listen to what's going on, actively protect them for what they're experiencing, and then connect them with help, social support, professional help if it's needed. And for the vast majority of our kids, that won't be needed, but they are going to need to know they're safe.
There are a lot of kids that won't be in school today in communities all around our state. As important as it is to have the conversations and talk about this as you start your day, how important is it to not talk about it for the rest of your day? Maybe go for a walk.
Unless they ask questions.
Yeah,
right?
but maybe
I'm not talking about it, you dumb kid. Fucking leave me alone.
Wants to be glued
What
to
the fuck?
what's happening, what's the latest, but the kids don't necessarily need to be around for that. So how do you balance the need to know versus let's take a walk?
Yeah, Lee, and that's the right word when you say balance. It's a matter of, how much is helpful information and how much is overwhelming information. And as a parent, monitor that for your kids. And taking a walk is a perfect thing. Getting out, kicking leaves, getting a little exercise, which also helps to get those stress hormones out of your system.
You know, we talked about this much earlier, but let's talk about it again. Kids of different ages are going to react differently to this. Let's talk about age groups. And you know, the interesting thing about this is, and I don't mean this in an offensive way, but this is something that every time something like this happens, I feel like we talk to a mental health expert about how do you talk to your kids about this, but it's something that until it affects you and you have to deal with it, you might brush over it. So it's worth talking about again now that this is hitting close to home. So
I totally agree with you, Sharon. And depending on the age of your kids, for the really young ones under the age of 7, the biggest factor is your response. How stressed out you are and are showing it. So monitor your own gut. Take care of yourself. Reassure them. They're going to want a lot more physical touch, a lot more hugging, and not over details of information. And let them learn what the story is that they have by their telling you, and then give them just the basic.
Thompson Public Library
Say
closed.
7 to
Like all the
13.
fucking
They still
colleges
don't
are
want a lot of
closed.
reassurance. They may get a little bit backward in some of their behavior, but they're going to want to know the story. They're going to want to know a little bit more about how it's affecting their peer group, their friends. So a little bit more information, and how do they take care of themselves? Can you read a book? Can you watch a movie? For adolescents, they're going to be really focused on their peer group. They're going to be getting a lot of information from media and social media. So pay attention to that. But it's about reassurance and, we call it curating. How do you help them to understand that too much information tends to overwhelm them?
and also reinforce the idea that I know you've been talking about a lot, and we've been talking a lot about this morning, that take a break from the social media and from the chat groups and where you're getting information that may be information or maybe misinformation, and maybe take some time to delineate how important that is to our kids about that.
And I love what you said all morning long about putting your own oxygen mask on first, right? You're not going to be much help to someone else if you haven't taken care of yourself, and that's equally important. So you are available to the people who need you to take care of yourself as well. So, okay, appreciate it.
Thanks, Greg.
All right, let's take a break and get a look outside on this day. Speaking of fresh air and going for walks,
Yeah.
Todd, this is gonna be a good day. We can do that,
We
maybe.
need a little sunshine.
Yeah, I think Mother Nature is going to give us that opportunity to get those breaks and to kind of, remove yourself from all that's going on right now in our local world. We do have some clouds out there. It's a quiet morning though across Maine. Every once in a while, especially earlier this morning, there were some very light showers or sprinkles that were falling in York County, south of Portland, but it seems like they're gone for now. Our temperatures are the biggest story. We're in the mid-50s. Even the coolest spots aren't bad. Berlin, New Hampshire, Calais. Then you've got a really warm spot, 60 up on Moosehead, Greenville. Front is north of us, so we're in this warm part of the air mass here for the next few days. Front comes in Saturday night, sweeps the warm air out to sea, replacing it with cooler stuff. And also a big chance for precipitation. We have very small chances between now and then, but late in the weekend, early next week, those numbers really start to go up. There will be some sun out there, both this morning and again late this afternoon. In between, lots of clouds probably, kind of like yesterday, mostly cloudy skies, but we'll still manage temperatures climbing up there, close to 70. And then late in the day, hopefully we'll see a little clearing or some filtered sunshine. Clouds roll back in later tonight. We're going to be really close to 70. We get there in Bangor, we get there Augusta, Freiburg, Sanford, Portsmouth, and Kittery, 71. And those that don't get there will be really close. Portland, Wiscasset, 69, 68, Bar Harbor, even warm up in the mountains and north. Tomorrow again, right around 70. Saturday, lower 70s, and then it cools off quite a bit. Sunday, temperatures drop into the upper 50s. We'll get rain showers to break out in the afternoon. They become steady Sunday night into Monday. And not only that, they'll become chilly ones too. It's going to be a cold rain here on Monday morning. So cold that there won't be rain up north across Aroostook County, maybe the Katahdin area in the central Maine Highlands. There will will likely be the first snowfall of the season in that part of the state. We dry out behind that for Halloween, although trick-or-treating will be in the 40s this year, so that's pretty cold. Wednesday also stays chilly in the 40s, watching potential for another storm system, which we'll keep an eye on. That's the latest forecast for now. Sharon Lee, let's get back to you.
I just got one simple question that I got to ask. Is Target and Walmart open? I might go down and go check those places out. I'll run through 6 barcades. I don't care. I'll run through 6 of them. The arbitrary number 6. 7's one way. Yeah, I don't know.
2 of them, 3 of them dying. So this is a friend of mine telling me about this, and obviously she was searching for information, and the area to meet up hadn't been established yet, so we're just trying to funnel some information on where they could go for some information. So that is something that's close to home, and we just showed a picture of another situation that we learned about as well. So
Right, this is a woman who spoke to our Raya Wooten in Auburn, sharing with us that her husband was one of the people who was killed in one of the shootings. She shared with us that they have 5 children between them, one of them a biological child. She described her husband as someone who was very protective of his
Kwame
family.
Brown. Let's see what he's talking about.
Of course, in her shock and grief, was gracious enough to let us know that this was her loss in this situation, and we really appreciate that she was willing to share that with us in such a time.
People are so obsessed about celebrity.
With their children throughout the day, so this is about as far as we go with identification of any of the victims, and this is what we want to know: who was hurt, who was killed in this terrible situation.
I thought you guys just said don't go to social media to believe anything. I swear to God, they said this several times. Now they're going to social media, and now we're supposed to believe it?
he is the one who has been described as the person of interest here, born April 4th, 1983.
Oh my God. Surprised there isn't some lunatics thinking it's me.
This is the person that police say, if you happen to see,
This is my specific information they just let out. Surprise. Probably do Buzzy. Why we probably said it. They'd love to go with that.
Specific about that. Don't hesitate to call. Better to call. Be safe and sorry. Even if you think that you've seen Robert Card, and go to your local law enforcement. And we're expecting to get an update from Maine State Police as well as Governor Mills. 10:30 here, so about 2 hours and 20 minutes or so from now. That will happen in Lewiston. So.
Carter, a resident of Bowdoin. You mentioned his birthday, 40 years old, that we don't know a lot about him. We do have on our website, and we've shared throughout the morning, that he was trained as a firearms instructor at a military installation here in Maine, and the Associated Press reporting that just this past summer was checked into a mental health facility, reporting that he was hearing voices and also threatening to carry out a shooting at that training facility, which is located in Saco. And at this point, that's all we really know about him and his background. Again, police are not calling him a suspect. They have released a photo of him. They're calling him a person of interest, and he is the person they are actively searching for today.
And I think this is the collective frustration of our state, is not knowing more. I think we've talked about this. I think we've talked about everything for the last 12 hours, but we've talked about the known versus the unknown. And knowns you can deal with. Knowns are hard, but knowns you can deal with because you know what you're dealing with. And we don't know what we're dealing with exactly here with the situation right now. Besides what you have been told, but there's more. There's more we're going to find out. And that is, it's an unnerving feeling to not know exactly what the situation is. Chris Costa, last night and I were talking about when they do the active shooter drills, which the law enforcement has done, the schools have done, our kids have practiced what happens if, right? In all those scenarios with first responders and with law enforcement and with students and teachers and such, those practice sessions are resolved, right? Those sessions end with the bad guy gets gotten. And right now, we don't have that resolution. We have an open-ended book that we don't know the ending to yet. And that's not something that gets practiced. You don't practice that the guy gets away. So this is all just very something we have not been through as a state to this magnitude, and certainly something that that we're living through and dealing with as it happens.
Well, the other point that's been made is that these drills happen in places where large groups of people gather, where we know people are going to be every single day, institutions like schools and such, and government buildings. There's no way, or it would be very difficult for every individual small business person in Maine to create some kind of protocol to try to deal with this, and yet this is where it hit. It hit two small locally owned businesses right in Lewiston on a Wednesday, a beautiful Wednesday night in Maine.
It was.
People wanted to be out and about. It was, the Celtics game at the sports bar, the bowling
Fuck
alley.
Celtics.
People were, going out for a nice time. You never, hopefully you don't walk around in your life thinking that this is going to happen at any moment, but certainly even more so, little mom and pop places like this, you're not prepared for something like this to happen. There's no way you can prepare for something like this to happen. So it comes as
yeah.
in some ways,
Keep strapped. That's how you prepare for it. Keep strapped, yo.
What happened in Lewiston last night is the 36th mass killing in the United States this year. It's according to a database maintained by the Associated Press and USA Today in partnership with.
Man, we're how many? Man, we got a bunch of those though.
Country are following what's going on in Maine right now, including NBC's Amelia Kaida. Amelia, what's your team learned so far?
Ooh.
Hey there, we'll just give you some perspective.
Oh, she's very Muslim.
Right now, just down the road from here is a bowling alley where some of that violence had played out and led to chaos and confusion inside when those shots rang out. Some people, witnesses describing literally hiding behind bowling pins to take cover. And then according to the city official, the shootings continued several
If you're running
miles
to the
from here
gutter,
at
what?
the bar and grill. In total, the numbers we have right now from our law enforcement sources are between 15 to 20 people have died. And that fluidity in the numbers speaks to just how rapidly developing the situation is. We're also learning that up to 50 people may have been injured in this violence. Police have released surveillance images of a man carrying a long gun. He had cargo pants on. The gun appeared to have a scope on it.
Dangerous.
He was not concealing his face. I'll tell you, here today, this morning, we're seeing a heavy police presence.
Yeah, well, you're not concealing your face. You're not really concerned about being caught or being convicted, I should say.
Law enforcement, and they're searching for a person of interest who they have identified as
But if
40-year-old
you're crazy,
Robert Card, and we're learning a little bit about his background. First of all, they say he's considered armed and dangerous, but from a law enforcement intelligence bulletin, we are learning that he was previously a firearms instructor. They also believe he has military training. They also say that he recently reported mental health issues, including hearing voices and threats as well.
there you go. There you go.
Absolutely utter heartbreak.
Let's stop trying to take people's guns away. Let's be more concerned about fucking mental health. Let's send some fucking money to them.
29 homicides recorded across
We
the
need it.
entire state for last year, and now in a single night, at least 15 lives brutally taken. Just the shock here is truly palpable. Right now, we know there are government buildings, there are schools, there are roads that have been closed as the search for the gunman continues, and they continue to ramp up those efforts. We know that
This cop's limping. Yeah, I'd be real. Dude's about 50 pounds overweight. Got his bulbous gut sticking out.
I'll tell you one other thing. Just around the corner from here, there's a reunification center, and that is where people who have questions or are looking for loved ones are encouraged to go. And the mayor of Auburn, the city where the reunification center is located, points out that even sometimes when people are showing up hoping to find loved ones, that is when they're coming face to face with the horrific reality that their loved one is actually lost. Guys.
Emily, thank you so much for that report.
Little G.I. Joe isn't coming home. That's fucking sad. Stay safe. Stay strapped. Stay strapped. I told you. I said it when I was in there Monday. That Monday, I called out again today. We got a crisis going on, and it's going to be 75 degrees out today. But I said that on that. Look at Little Hamas. That short. That's when I was saying it.
drove out.
And that when I was saying it, we were in the area that it happened.
In gear with rifles that piled out of the parking lot and headed towards
7 months ago. I just moved out of there 7 months ago. I was living there 7 months ago.
We have a lot of intel, and we're just working in conjunction with the state and federal partners.
Stay strapped. That's what we're doing. Stay strapped.
Keep the community safe. Obviously, it's a very tragic incident that happened, and we're doing our job the best.
My cousin texted me last night. He said mass shooting. This was like at 7 when I was gonna go lay down. I went to go lay down, and no, it was like 8, I think.
Local and federal.
He texted me that, and I was like, "What is this fucking attention?" Because usually he's attention seeking and needy, and he will overhype things to get attention. So I just thought it was him being fucking a weirdo as usual. But then this morning I woke up at like 2 a.m. and I saw 22 killed or something, and I was like, then I started watching it. I was like, "Holy shit! They still haven't caught the dude yet."
So back to you, Lee and Sharon.
All right, Sam, thank you very much. You know, in some weird way, it's kind of reassuring to know that there is some activity going on because we're hoping that
We were in Thompson. They're in Thompson too. They've closed down Thompson. We were in Thompson that Monday too.
A man has been apprehended in connection with these mass shootings. I think we'll all breathe a collective sigh of relief.
Yeah, they haven't caught him.
That does happen. So although it's a little unsettling, I'm sure, for Sam to see that happening right before her eyes as she's trying to impart information to us. In some ways, we're hoping that it's encouraging news. So we'll be checking back.
No. Yeah, this happened where I used to live, in Maine.
So heading up the Maine State Police part of this is Commissioner Michael Soschuk, who was the chief of police in Portland.
Really doesn't give you much faith in our law enforcement in this state, that they can't find a dude that is in a major city that smoked 20 people, had time enough to shoot 20 people, injure 50, and still be on the run, and still be on the loose. Like, how don't you even get a whereabouts? Right here. And then these motherfuckers say, "We're not going to take any more questions." Yeah, because you ain't got a goddamn fucking clue what's going on, as always. Fucking idiots. Leave my well-being in their hands. Yeah, no thank you.
See prosecution down the road.
Yeah. All right, there's Commissioner Soschuk. You okay? We thought we had more time.
You know,
Yeah, it's not funny, Sharon. Why are you laughing?
This morning, where we could maybe take a breath, and I could do something stupid to lighten the mood. And
Thanks. Now we're laughing.
hopefully that was it for you.
Some good vertical.
I don't think anyone was laughing until you started. You're the one laughing about it, Susan.
These chairs are tall. All right.
Anyway, we've been on TV for a long time.
Pardon us.
I feel like we're just saying the same things over and over again because it's all we know.
Well, Sharon, you didn't get on this. I've been watching this since 2 a.m. Sharon didn't get on here until 6.
So we're on our 13 and something hour of talking about this with very little new information.
Yeah, 13 hours. This dude's been on the run for 13 hours. Dude's in one place. Dude's not moving.
By some chance, work an odd shift.
Dude is right in that area though.
Just to bring you up to
Because
date
if
on
you
what's
run,
happening here.
you get
We
caught.
are planning
When you
to
stay in place,
on
then
the
you don't
air,
get caught.
Until further notice. We're planning to stay on the air to bring you what we do know, even if some of it is repetitive, even if some of it, sounds like you've heard of this all before. We're going to continue to do that because we realize people may just be tuning in and people need to know what's happening in our state right now. This is
We stay strapped.
unequivocally the most horrific in terms of scope and biggest story that we have covered in our careers here at Center Maine.
It's the thing we've all been waiting for and hoping for.
But what are you talking about? There's been mass shooting. I don't understand why they're going on about this. Is like they're acting like this is the first mass shooting in Maine. There was a mass shooting in Maine 6 months ago, 5 months ago.
This is my home. This is my life has been here for.
And it was in the same area. It was in the boat. It was in Bowdoin, Brunswick area because I was at a training that day.
That we're even having these conversations and that we're dealing with.
And I took 295, and it happened on 295. So I was like, great, I'm going 95 home. Going 95 home.
We just want more answers, right?
But I think only 3 people got killed, and I think it was like 6 or 7 people got injured in that one.
Was covering this for us last night.
And then the dude goes in. He was being in observation, so he was in Riverview this summer. He said he was going to start shooting people, and they released him.
I'm a little freaked out.
It's not, you don't come take your guns because the system that is supposed to protect you and supposed to be made for that, for someone with a severe mental illness like that, to go unserved and undocumented and unfollowed up on. Like, that's a that is a DHHS issue, not a we need to take your guns away from you issue.
All right, so that's Jack Moment. Last night I was speaking to that woman who could not find her son at the time, and at that point, the reunification station had not opened.
This is just a play to try to steal your guns now, try to take your guns away from you. They need to take they need to take guns away from us, because that's the only way they're going to be able to invade us or make us do anything. As long as we stay strapped up, man, they ain't going to be rolling over here and making us do shit without a fight.
Todd, give us a look at what's going on today.
Yeah, a little timeout.
75 degrees and sunny today, yo.
Get a sip of water.
Fuck yeah.
Fuck
yeah.
I got the next 2 minutes for you here. Real quickly, we're looking at some pretty solid weather today. It's quiet, at least here across Maine. Temperatures are abnormally warm. Every once in a while, there may be a sprinkle or a light shower that falls in York County, south of Portland. Right now, nothing really showing up on radar, so things are fine. This is the biggest story, these temperatures. We're in the mid-50s right now. Greenville, actually 60 degrees up on Moosehead. Even the coldest spots, Berlin, New Hampshire, and Calais, are not in the 30s, and that can easily be the case at this point in the year. Front is north of us. We are in the warm sector. We'll be there for the next 3 days.
We're staying strapped.
Saturday night, the next front comes in and sweeps the warmth out to sea. Unfortunately, by Sunday, the temperatures are dropping quite a bit. And that's
Well, Christ, there was 2 or 3 homicides in Lewiston the past 7 months, too.
For sunny breaks, both this
I didn't say anything about that.
This afternoon. In between, we're looking at mostly cloudy skies. Again, a sprinkle possible.
I told you it was going to pop off there. I told you. I said it.
Up in the mountains. Highs today, right around.
You documented that shit too. You go look. It was only a week ago. It was only 2 weeks. Close to getting close to 2 weeks now. It's been like 10 days.
We'll be very, very close, like Portland and Wisconsin.
10 days since I've been there.
Harbor up north, it'll be in the mid-60s.
Since the day I said it.
Around 70 again tomorrow. Lower 70s on Saturday.
10 days. Nice. 72. Oh.
Sunday afternoon as the next round.
It's only going to be 72 today. Oh, that's awful. Awful. I need a mental health day today. Just like a good Democrat, never let a crisis go to waste. Just like a good Democrat, never let a crisis go to waste. Yeah, it's supposed to be in the 40s next week. Screw that.
Thank you so much. And again, thank you for sticking with us as we continue to cover the mass shooting in Lewiston last night and the search for a suspect in the case.
There's going to be a news conference scheduled for 10.
Lee Goldberg used to just be sports. Like, these are the same news anchors I grew up watching when I was like 12 and 13. Same people.
On the active shooter situation in Lewiston, I urge all people in the area to follow the direction of state and local law enforcement, and I will continue to monitor the situation and remain in close contact with public safety officials.
Lewiston Mayor Carl Salim released a statement as well, saying Lewiston is currently under a shelter-in-place order, and it is critical to prioritize your safety and the safety of those around you.
Damn right.
Follow all recommended guidelines and stay home. We will continue to monitor this situation, and state police will provide updates. I am heartbroken for our city and our people. Lewiston is known for our strength and grit, and we will need both in the days to come.
The former director of the Maine CDC,
I gotta go register my truck. Wait, I'll be back here in a bit.
saying